Hi, my name's Tim Repagan, and this is my sales speech entitled, How to Fix a Tennis Problem. Have you ever watched professional tennis players such as Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, or Venus Williams? They are amazing players, probably some of the best in the world. They've won many championships and tournaments. They are also very good examples of practice and patience. They started out when they were young, played a lot to become the players they are today. They also stuck with it. When they made a mistake, they didn't give up and quit. They worked on serves, they worked on volleys, and they simply played a lot of tennis. So whether you're an avid tennis player or more of a recreational type, you have to agree that these players are good. But even these high professional athletes tend to mess up once in a while. So how would you correct your most common tennis mistakes? Would you ask a friend to help you to hit strokes to you that you want? Maybe you'd go out and buy a $500 tennis ball machine so that you could set the height and distance of each tennis ball. Or maybe you would simply play more tennis. Well, Jeff Cooper, Guide to Tennis at About.com, says that, on average, the middle-aged tennis player tends to follow a boomer strategy. This means that the player will try to hit a very hard first serve and every volley following that. This type of player isn't very patient. He would rather hit a good shot to win the point instead of letting his opponent mess up. So why is this such a bad thing? Well, a boomer player tends to hit it out of bounds more often than not. Usually the ball tends to fly a couple feet behind the baseline. They do tend to hit it in enough to convince them that this strategy is working though. So what's the solution to this problem? The simplest solution is a Gamma tennis racket. What, you say? I don't even have to practice? Well, yes, you still need to practice, and you even may need to change a few things. But a Gamma tennis racket will certainly help. Many companies produce large tennis rackets that stress power. This can be a good thing in the hands of the right people, but if you are a boomer, then a large racket is not the type for you. Gamma produces large rackets, but most of them are small and light. The tension in the racket is also loose, allowing for more control. If a boomer were to use his or her normal swing, but using a different racket, such as the Gamma racket, the ball wouldn't go as far. They'd have more control. Anthony Green said that before he got his Gamma racket, most of his shots would go past the baseline. He now plays the number 4 spot on his college's tennis team. I was also once a boomer. I started playing tennis about 5 or 6 years ago, and my shots just wouldn't stay in bounds. They would go 2 or 3 feet past the baseline or off to the sides. Now, part of the reason was because I hit it too hard, but I also found out that my racket wasn't the right type of racket for me. After buying a Gamma, my shots stayed in bounds, and I had more control over them. So, many companies say that their rackets are just as good as Gamma, and I'm not going to lie, some are right. But no one can make a racket just like Gamma. You may be able to get by using a different brand, but if you want a top-rate racket, Gamma is the way to go. You started your freshman year playing the number 16 spot. Your next year, you played the number 12. Your junior year rolled around, and you bought a Gamma tennis racket. All of a sudden, you're playing the number 4 spot. You played all year long the next year, and when the season rolled around, your coach came up and talked to you. He said he wants to play you at the number 1 spot. You were so happy you didn't know what to say. As if that wasn't good enough, he also told you you have a very good chance of making it to state. So where can you get this amazing racket? Well, most major sports stores sell them, but if you want the best and a larger selection, the internet is probably the way to go. Gamma is also cheaper than some of the other brands, like Wilson or Yonex. A good Wilson racket may cost you anywhere from $200 to $300. A good Gamma racket costs about $150. I got mine at the Sports Authority store in Ames on sale for $100. So if one of your major problems comes from following the boomer strategy, I recommend you go to your nearest sports store or computer and purchase a Gamma racket today. I guarantee you that it will bring your game up to a whole new level.